Let's go through the drill sheet together, and we'll look at number 1 here. I'm going to walk through all of these with you just by way of reviewing the chapter. Okay, we have Tesha Shana. Tesha Shana. So, what does the word Tesha mean? What number is that? Okay, this is the number 9. And here's an important question. Is this a cardinal or an ordinal number? It's a cardinal number. Okay, we use cardinal numbers to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ordinal numbers to indicate something's position or order in a series, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay? Let me remind you, when we're dealing with ordinals, do we ever have gender confusion or mismatch? No. Ordinals are adjectives, and they always agree with the noun in terms of the gender and the number for that matter, because that's what attributive adjectives do, right? Attributive adjectives and ordinals are that, always follow the noun and agree in gender, number, and definiteness. The first astronaut, the second man, the third woman, and so forth. All right, cardinals. I don't know if we have any cardinal fans in here. But where do we have agreement between the gender of the number and the gender of the noun that's being numbered? Where do we have gender agreement? Which numbers? 1 through 2. The first two. We have gender agreement. Okay. And then numbers 3 through 10, it's gender disagreement. Okay, so look at the number Tesha. Is this a gender conforming or gender non-conforming number? It's non-conforming. There's going to be a mismatch. So you got to look at the number, the thing being numbered here. Shana is the word year, and is it masculine or feminine? Shana. Kamate. Feminine singular. All right? So if you're looking at that feminine singular form, but you've got a number 9, it's gender disagreeing. It's got to be the masculine form. And remember, these cardinal numbers are all singular. They're singular nouns, okay? They are singular. So I won't ever pluralize this unless I want a different number out of it, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, okay? So notice that what I'm using is the masculine singular form of 9, tesha. That is to say, the one with no ending. If I had a feminine form, it would have a kametz hey or a final tav. Tish'ah. Okay. Now, so is it okay to translate this as 9 year? 9 year? Say, how long have you been at the Expositor Seminary? Oh, 9 year. Oh, I see. Your mental faculties have regressed. No, I'm just kidding. In Hebrew, the word shana is singular, right? But when you number a noun like shana, it will frequently occur in the singular form. In English, go ahead and put an S there, okay? Because that's what we do in English, even though in Hebrew they might not. You could see the plural form as well, but there are some nouns that frequently will, take a singular noun even when it's being numbered with some quantity greater than 1. All right. Any questions about that? So that's 9 years. Look at number 2. I have shivat banim. Shivat banim. What is the number word? Is it shivat or banim? Shivat. Good. What number is this? Ah, that's right. This is the number 7, which, as I think I've asked you to do with your memorization, you've got your left column over here, and I want you to memorize the masculine singular form. So on your left side of your list, it's going to be Sheva. Okay. Now look at what I have here. I have Shivat. Shivat. Is that a masculine or a feminine form of 7? You see that tav at the end? Yeah, that's feminine. Good. It's feminine. The numbers, the units, 1 through 10, these are always singular nouns, by the way, so it's feminine singular. But look at the at ending. Is it absolute or construct? The absolute would be a kamate ending. The construct becomes frequently pathak tav, or I could get segul tav as a segulant noun. Okay, so is this absolute or construct? Well, it's the construct. Okay, now why am I using a feminine form of 7? Well, is 7 a gender agreement or a gender disagreement unit? It disagrees. It's between 3 and 10, isn't it? So it's going to disagree. Look at banim. What gender is banim? It's masculine, right? It's masculine plural. Sons are masculine. So how many sons do I have here? I have 7 sons. Now, if you have a construct form, and you want to be literal about it, you could say 7 of sons. But doesn't that sound funny to you? Yeah, that doesn't sound like good English, does it? So when you have, literally in Hebrew, 7 of sons, then that just means you have 7 sons. So you don't have to put the word of here in your English translation, but just realize that you do have a construct form here, which means it has to go in front. Construct nouns always precede the absolute noun. If you look at number 1, is this the construct of the absolute form of 9, tesha? It's the absolute, okay? So this is not a construct chain like number 2 is. What I have is apposition. I have the number word and then the noun in apposition to it. And when we have 2 nouns positioned side by side, both in the absolute, they could go in any order. So I could say 9 and then year, or I could say year 9. I could have put tesha after shana, and it would still be 9 years. Okay? But I can't put the construct form anywhere I want to. That always has to go first. Now, let's look at number 3. Or let me ask you, do you guys have any questions about these 2? All right. Look at number 3. We have Shimone. Shimone, what is the number for this? What number does this represent? This is the number 8. Okay? Shimone. Look at the segul hey ending here for just a moment. Okay? I want to remind you of an adjective that you learned once upon a time. Yafeh. Anybody remember what yafeh means? Beautiful. Precious. Yeah, this is masculine singular though. Handsome. The feminine form is not yafeh, but yafa, where I drop the segul hey out of kametse, because the segul hey is a mater. Okay? Now, I'm just wanting to remind you that segul hey words that end with segul hey, are masculine. Okay? Masculine singular. So Shimone has a segul hey here, so this is masculine singular. Look at arim. That looks masculine plural, doesn't it? Is it? What is the lexical form of arim? It's the word ear, city, and is city masculine or feminine? It's feminine. It looks masculine in the singular and the plural, but it is in fact a feminine noun. So my analysis here is just slightly off. Okay, it's got to be feminine, plural, arim. So notice the noun's feminine. The number Shimone is 8, so that is what? Is that a gender agreeing or disagreeing number? It disagrees. Okay, 1 and 2 agree, 3 through 10 disagree, and therefore I have a different gender for my number than my noun. Okay, so this is 8 cities. You see how that works? Look at number 4. I have Shisha Yom. Shisha Yom. What gender is Yom? Masculine. So this is masculine singular. What number is Shisha? What numeral is this? 6. Good. Is 6 between 3 and 10? Then it's got to disagree with the gender of the noun. The noun's masculine, so the number 6 has to be feminine. Do you see how Shisha looks very feminine here? You see the kamate? All right. So we have gender disagreement. 6 what? 6 day. All right. Now look at number 5. We have Hayom Ha-Revi'i. Hayom Ha-Revi'i. Is this Revi'i form a cardinal number or an ordinal number? It's an ordinal. And as an ordinal, it's following all the rules for attributive adjectives. Attributive adjectives go after the noun, and they agree in gender, number, definiteness. So do we agree in definiteness here? Absolutely. Ha-ha, right? Ha-yom ha-revi'i. What about the gender number? Yom we said was masculine singular. Ha-revi'i. Is revi'i masculine singular? Yes. What would I expect for if I wanted to make this feminine singular? What might I add to the end of revi'i? A final tav. That's right. A final tav would make it feminine singular. Ha-revi'it. Okay? So if I wanted to say a woman, ha-isha, it would be ha-isha ha-revi'it with a tav. This is hayom ha-revi'i. What number, ordinal number, is revi'i? That's fourth. Good. Now, should I put the in front of fourth? Yes. So the 4th day. Okay? The 4th day. The day the 4th is the 4th day. All right. We all good there? Look at number 6. We have Hashana Hashanit. Hashana Hashanit. Is Hashana a noun or a number or just a common noun? Hashana. It's a noun. What does it mean? Yeah, this is year, right? And it's definite. Hashana, the year. Look at Hashanit. Hashanit. Is that a number? And is it cardinal or ordinal? It's ordinal. All right, it's functioning like an adjective. Does it agree with the definiteness of the noun it follows? Yeah, ha-ha. What about gender and number? Shana is feminine, singular. Shenit is feminine, singular by virtue of the final tav. What number is Shenit? Second. So how would you translate Hashana Hashanit? The second year. Okay. Will I have any gender disagreement with the number second? Isn't second between 1 and 2? Should it disagree with the gender of the noun? No, that's right, because it's an ordinal. Ordinals never disagree. They always agree. Ordinals are adjectives, and adjectives are always true to their gender, aren't they? Number 7, chamisha. What number is chamisha? Yeah, this is a form of chamesh. Good. So this is 5. Excellent. Asar. That is 10. That's a form of eser. Eser. Okay. It's a form of 10. So chamisha asar is what number? Yeah, this is 510 or 15. 15 what? Devarim. Words. Here's the deal. Look at the number 15. The unit number in the ones place here is 5. Is 5 an agreement or disagreement number when it comes to gender? It disagrees, right? It's between 3 and 10. So if words is masculine, what gender does the number 5 have to be? It has to be feminine. Do you see a feminine form of chamesh? Yeah, that comments hey. Okay, so there you go. There you go. All right. So 15 words, and the 5 part has to be feminine because it can't agree with the number or the noun. Look at number 8. Actually, does anybody have any questions about these last several that we've gone through? Just making sense? All right.
Real quick, you just I might have missed why somewhere sometimes it's in the construct and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, it's right. When you have it in the constructs, you could use the word of, but it'll sound like funny Hebrew. But there's nothing that requires it to be in the construct or the absolute, the number. That's really up to the writer or the speaker to choose to do that or not. For your purposes, you just want to recognize when you have a form, whether it's in the absolute or the construct, so that you know what number it is. But that's really it. Now look at number 8. I have Shimoneh Esrei Barachot. What number is Shimoneh? That's the number 8. Look at Esrei. What's that? That's a form of 10. Okay. And when I put these two together, Shimoneh Esrei, what does that become? Yes, that's 18. Now, Barachot is what? Blessings. Good. So we've got 18 blessings. I have no idea where that comes from. But what gender is Barachot? It's feminine. You see that ot ending, feminine plural. On the number 18, I'm looking at the unit number, the 8. Is that an agreement or a disagreement number for gender? Disagreement. It's between 3 and 10. So I have to use the opposite gender. Barachot is feminine, so I need a masculine form of 8. Is Shimoneh masculine? Yeah, Segol Hay's masculine, right? Yahoo! Celebrate good times. Come on. All right. There you go. 18 blessings. Look at number 9. We have Esrim Malachim. Esrim Malachim. What, looking at the Esser part here, what number does that look like? Yeah, that looks like the number 10. But here's the question. Is the number 10 a singular noun or a plural noun? The number 10. It's singular. the number 10 is a singular noun. Okay? So if you remember, the number 1 is an adjective. The number 2 is a dual noun. The numbers 3 through 10 are singular nouns. Okay? So the number 10 can never be plural and still be the number 10. I'm drawing your attention to this because when you look at the form of esser that we have, it is not a singular form, is it? It's esser with im on the end. So this is not the number 10. When I pluralize the number 10, what do I have? This is the number 20. Okay? This is the number 20. The numbers 1 through 10 here, number 1's an adjective, 2 is a dual noun, not a singular noun and not an adjective. The numbers 3 through 10 are singular nouns. And here's what we have to understand. In order to make the numbers like 30, 40, 50, and so forth, I take the singular nouns and I simply pluralize them. Okay, and this is why it's so important for you to remember that these nouns are singular, because when you pluralize them, it's not the same number anymore. It's that number times 10. So 3 is singular, the noun is singular, shalosh. If I make it plural, shaloshim, then it becomes 30, not 3. Okay? Arba, 4. Arba'im is now no longer 4, it's 40. So I'm taking the singular nouns, I pluralize them to get the multiple of 10. But how do I get 20? I don't take the number 2 and pluralize it, because the number 2 is not a singular noun, is it? It's a dual noun. So I can't, my rule is to take a singular noun and to pluralize it to get the multiple. So for the number 2, I don't pluralize the number 2 because it's already not singular. So what do I do for 20? I take 10 and I pluralize the number 10. So I take esser and I make that plural to get 20. All right? So this is 20 malakim, 20 kings. Now, here is something really important to know about these multiples of 10. When you pluralize them, what gender is the plural number? It's masculine, right? You see the ending is im here. I don't ever use the feminine plural. I don't care if the noun that you're numbering is feminine. Doesn't matter. You always use the masculine plural form. Always, 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 no matter what the gender of the noun is. Okay? So remember when I said that the gender disagreement issue, this is only a feature of the numbers, what? The numbers 3 through 10. Okay? The number 20, 30, 40, 50, that part does not change at all. You don't have to worry about it. It's always a masculine plural form. Okay? So, Esrim Malakim is 20 kings. And then finally, number 10, I have Chamishim. Chamishim. What is the base of this word? It's the word Chamesh. What is Chamesh? It's the number 5. But notice I don't have Chamesh, a singular noun. I have Chamishim, a masculine plural form of 5. So what number is this now? Yeah, it's 5 times 10. It's 5 times 10, which is 50. Okay? What gender is it? Im is masculine, because it has to be. And then Kali or Kalim, remember this is the singular form, this is the plural. I could have a singular or a plural noun. This is 50 vessels. Okay? 50 vessels. All right. Good. So on Ross, page 185, we have his translations into English here. So which ones of these do you want to go over?
Number 1.
Yeah, let's look at number 1. Okay. So Vayhi kol haaretz safa echat u'devarim achadim. Vayhi, there's my WCI of Haya, was. right? What was? Here's my subject, kol haaretz. What does that mean? All the earth. Okay, and then vayhi, all the earth was safa echat. What is a safa? It's a lip. That's right. And echat is the number what? 1. This is number 1. Is 1 a noun or an adjective? It's an adjective. And it has to agree with its noun in gender and number. Safa is feminine singular, so achat has to be feminine singular as well, because numbers 1 and 2 always agree with the noun's gender that they're numbering. Is this a feminine form of number 1? Well, yeah. It's got a dalet when it's masculine. It's got a tav when it's feminine, okay? So achat. So this is one lip. All the earth was one lip. Udevarim achadim. And what's devarim? Words. And that's masculine plural. And the number 1 here is also masculine plural because it has to agree. It's an attributive adjective. How would I translate that? Words, ones. Or one's words? What in the world are we talking about here? All the earth was one lip and one's words. This word we understand to be the number 1, but of course that's numerically 1. When it's made plural, it doesn't mean 1, strictly speaking, anymore, does it? It rather ends up meaning something like the same, or maybe one set of. So what it's saying is that the whole earth was one lip and one set of words, or the same words. What does it mean to say this? It means that their language was the same, okay? The lip here, for one lip, doesn't mean they all shared one big fat lip. It means that they shared what the lip produces. They had one lip, meaning one language. The lip stands for the language that the lip speaks. This is a figure of speech known as metonymy. You guys heard of metonymy? Yeah? This is where you substitute a word for something that is associated with it. Okay? For example, if I say something like the White House denies being racist, what am I talking about? I'm using the word White House as a substitute for what? The president. Yeah, okay. I could also say something like this. The White House let's say the White House negotiated with Kim Jong-il for such and such a settlement. Okay? There, the White House may not necessarily stand for the president itself, but it might stand for the rest of the country, because the White House also the president represents the country. Okay? So there's all sorts of interesting ways that we use metonymy. We just never think about it or analyze it, but that is in fact what's going on here. One lip means one language. The lip is a substitute word for the language. It's a brilliant poetic way of speaking. Okay, so we do use that quite frequently.